Ah, it warms my heart to see the great gears turning again. Wonderful piece of industry. Didn't even need more than a mild leeching.
I am in your debt.
Good work, my friends. I'll need to remember to install a safety switch on my next construct. Here's your payment. Now, something's been bothering me. Nothing in my schematics would have allowed for hostile tendencies. I think someone tampered with my construct. I don't have any rivals that hate me that much, but I have had quite a few parts go missing recently.
Your automaton may have been altered by the thieves in the crypt. Or by the dapper old gent.
Oh, really now? Well, if that's the case, maybe you could check the crypts for any of my missing automaton parts. If I reverse engineer the components, I can maybe safeguard my next automaton against future tampering. Well, thanks again, and take care. Well, look at that sprocket! A magic command from afar can click this little widget in place and disable conflict resolution inhibitors. Clever indeed, but I'm sure I could craft a countermeasure. Ah, listen to me ramble. Here's your reward. Now, if you'll pardon me, I need to formulate my schematics. Good day.
A human generation has gone by without the Legion here to settle disputes. At last, that tradition returns to Stonebridge. I know you have evil to smite, so it means a lot to me and to the city that you can take time for the little things. Here's a little something for your efforts. Now be careful out there.
Meister Wolf informs the Council that...
Give the order then. We'll march on the Spire. And surprise Jane Cascinder if we can.
The Spire stands atop Mount Jereb. That's weeks' march from here, on foot. Our automatons will assault the town of Aegis Bay at the foot of the mountain. They'll engage Jane's forces and provide a distraction, you say. That will give you a chance to climb the trails to the top of the mountain and assault the Spire itself. It will be an honor to fight alongside the Legion, and may fortune smile upon our endeavor.
At long last, the tide turned. No longer was the 10th Legion fighting a defensive war. With the automaton army of Stonebridge behind us, we took the battle to our enemy. Under the command of Martin Guiscard and Meister Wolf, our army poured forth from Stonebridge in a flood of iron and flame. The journey was a long one and difficult. Had you marched with soldiers of flesh and blood, I do not doubt that many would have died, but the automatons were tireless. At last you reached your goal, the Spire. Crowning the sacred mountain of Jereb, it was the heart of Jane Cascinder's strength. No army had ever conquered it. Azunite zealots and Stonebridge automatons clashed at the mountain's foot. Blind faith and cold reason struggled for dominance as the ground churned with oil and blood. Above the clamor of the battle, you ascended a forgotten path up the mountain, seeking the Spire itself.
Fascinating. This garden is ideally laid out to thwart a besieging army. Beauty and function together. Remarkable.
Wait. No weapons. We've come to talk, not to fight.
Quickly, Rajani. We shouldn't be here.
Jane doesn't know you're here, does she?
This meeting is far too inconspicuous for Jane Cassinder's taste. No giant war beast for a start.
We only speak for ourselves, not for Our Lady.
Jane is first among our sisters, like her mother before her. We don't want to betray her, but...
Jane has lost her way. She talks of visions and dreams. A great tree, carrion birds. She claims to hear the voices of our lost gods in her mind, and that proves she is mad.
Maybe she is hearing the voices of your gods.
Our gods are dead, tumbled from the heavens and gone. We sought them long, across 1,000 divine realms, and never found a trace.
Not true, sister. Jane's mother claimed to have discovered a remnant, a forgotten seed of the first creation, the handiwork of our gods. But none of us ever saw.
What kind of seed do you mean?
She never told us the form it took, only that she could sense the power that shaped the world, still alive and potent within.
What gods do you mean?
The creator gods, who we served long ago, or so we have always believed. We have no memories of them, only stories that we tell, and faith that they are true.
Jane commands the Azunite Church, but she worships these creator gods in secret?
She claims to be faithful to Azunai, so that her followers won't abandon her. And she doesn't deny that he is real. But her true faith, her secret faith, has always been to our gods, to the gods of her mother.
So what do you propose?
You spared my life in Raven's Rill, and when you spoke to Jane in Glitterdelve, you weren't the monster that she said you'd be. I don't want to see my sisters destroyed in Jane's pointless war. Too few of us are left. We ask for your mercy, for our sisters and for Jane herself. In return, we'll grant you whatever aid we can.
I want to know more about you before I decide.
Quickly then, before someone sees us.
You'd help me defeat your own sisters? How?
We can withdraw from the battle for a start. Of all Jane's handmaids, we are ranked first, and she relies upon us to guide the others.
And we can tell you what lies ahead. The Spire is a death trap for the unwary, and finding Jane is not so simple as passing through a door or climbing a stair.
If you've lost confidence in Jane, why follow her at all? Choose a new leader.
Leadership is no matter of choice, not for us. We are bound to Jane, just as we were bound to her mother.
The first sister burns brightest of all. Her fire sustains us. Snuff her out, and we would all begin to fade.
Jane's mother was first sister. What happened to her?
She died. At the moment Jane was born, her fire was passed to her daughter, and her body became an empty shell. The faces of mother and daughter may be different, but the divine spark, the fire that sustains them, that is the same.
Can you tell me who you are? Where you came from?
The people of Ebb call us Archons, but we have no such name for ourselves. We're just sisters, as we've always been. Our only history comes from myths and legends. They say that we served the creator gods before they tumbled to Earth. We have no memory of that time. Our first awareness came with a sense of terrible loss, but we cannot remember what came before.
A strange way to begin your lives. What did you do?
We wandered the divine realms for... To tell the truth, I have no way to know. Always searching for some trace of our fallen gods. We had no purpose. Many of our sisters were lost in those years. They wandered off, confused, or their fires guttered out. Jane's mother led us here. She claimed to have found some remnant of the first creation, but she only saw it twice. And we never saw it at all.
All right. I've made up my mind.
Jane is deluded and confused, yes, but please, don't judge all our sisters by her example alone.
I promised the Queen that I'd spare Jane's life. I'll try to spare your sisters, too.
We would never dream of rendering your species extinct, my good ladies.
So Jane was wrong about you after all. When Rajani told me, I didn't believe.
Beyond this gate is the Bailey Garden filled with soldiers. They're fanatics, loyal only to Jane. They think her a saint, and you'll never sway them. At the far side of the garden is a door, protected by a magical seal. Two of our sisters fashioned that seal from their own living fire. Now their lives are tied to the seal. To pass the door, you would need their consent, and that they'll never give. So you'll have to find them and kill them.
Will I find the two Archons in the Bailey Garden, or somewhere else?
They can't venture far from the seal. Each of them lives in a tower on either side of the garden. We never go inside those towers. We never even go near them, so we can't say what you'll find.
I thought you wanted me to spare your sisters' lives.
Those two, the ones who watch the gate, they're different. No one speaks of them. Not anymore.
The spell they wove has driven them mad. They don't even answer to their old names. We only know them as the Archon of Vengeance and the Archon of War.
Enough about the Spire. I should be able to find my way.
As you wish. Can we tell you anything more?
Are there any hidden places? Secrets that Jane wouldn't want me to find?
The dungeon, underneath the Bailey Garden that lies just ahead. Jane keeps her most valuable prisoners there. Look for the stone centerpiece in the middle of the garden. The door to the dungeon is hidden in its base. But you can only open the door by stepping on a golden pressure plate, hidden in the corner of the garden.
You haven't told me where I'll find Jane.
No need. She'll find you.
She's somewhere in the Spire, probably watching using our eyes as her own. She'll know that we've betrayed her.
You should leave this place, and stay away from our soldiers. They'll take you for enemies.
No, wait. You are an Archon, like us. Don't you recognize your sisters?
I've never seen you before, and I'm not one of your sisters.
But you're wrong. We know you. We were with you when you died.
You saw me die? Where did this happen?
When we first came to this world, you tried to follow Jane's mother into a primordial forest, where a fragment of the first creation was said to lie. The forest consumed you, tore you to pieces before our eyes. We thought it was a sign, choosing Jane's mother over the rest of us. But now our sister has returned to trumpet Jane's fall.
We don't know that yet. We'll wait for now. The meaning will make itself clear.
Thaumaturgic analysis of that statue's resonance would make for a fascinating paper. We should investigate more closely.